here with director, writer, editor, photographer Adrian Carr. How did you get your start in the business?
I started out in the mailroom with the Australian Broadcasting Commission, and after about 6 months of doing that, I applied for assistant cine cameraman and never ever got into it. I could never break into that area. Then I saw there was an ad for assistant editor. I didn't know what it was. I applied, and there were 2 of us, and we were told that we would, highly unlikely we would get it. Anyway, I was successful. I later found out we were the only 2 that applied, and I went on to become one of Australia's top editors.
And you were editing for how many years?
Approximately 20 years. The most notable films are The Man from Snowy River, The Light Horseman, and Quigley Down Under.
And from there you transitioned into directing. How did you find that transition?
My transition into directing features was quite interesting. I was working on a movie called Now and Forever, starring Cheryl Ladd, and the script needed work, and I thought I talked myself out of the editing job, and I was successful as the editor, and about 2 weeks into filming, due to creative differences with the production, the director was replaced and I took over. So on a 6-week shoot, we'd already shot 2 weeks. The production shut down for a week, and we reshot a week. So basically we shot 5 weeks in 3 to finish on schedule.
And it went well in the end?
From my perspective, yeah. Could it have been better? Sure. Did I make mistakes? Most likely. And would I like a chance to go back and do it again? Absolutely.
You've also been an acting instructor. What did you bring to teaching actors?
Well, I have an interest in watching actors and the way they're taught, and I've sat in on many acting schools and just to watch actors at work, their different techniques, because as a director you can pick up ideas from the way they're coached by their different teachers, and that sort of led to me to when I was observing them, I found there was an on-set discipline that was missing. Actors had free rein in the classroom, which is great for the creativity and the expression, but when it came to getting into on-set discipline, I kept thinking, man, these kids are going to be like unruly because they won't know what to do. And I then sat in on a class run by Ivan Markota, and I really enjoyed his techniques, and we sort of bonded. And after about a year of sitting in on his classes, he asked me if I would take over his scene class because one of his instructors had to leave for personal reasons. And I said, look, I can teach acting, but I don't want to. If it's okay with you, what I would like to teach is on-camera set etiquette. And he said, well, we can't have 2 bosses in the room, so I'll stay out of your hair and let you run with it. And I did for 4 years, where we taught many of the the experiences that I had seen as a director on sets I've directed and on sets that I visited as an editor when I was working.
What's the #1 mistake you see actors making?
Not listening, and moving and blinking. As an editor, my biggest curse were actors who blinked, because invariably when you go to cut right on that moment, they blink, and what happens is that you then become aware of the edit, and this will probably curse you now because every time you watch a movie you'll be looking at people blinking. But it is what happens is when you blink, you break that connection between the two actors in the separate cuts, in separate close-ups. So when you intercut a conversation, not that you're staring, but you minimize your blinking. So you keep the transference of emotion happening between the two characters.
What did you learn about yourself through teaching acting?
Interesting question. I studied acting for about 2 years, and I was surprised after nearly 20 years how much I used that in directing. And having watched Ivan and a few of the other coaches, I realized how much I didn't know about the casting process, or what is expected of me as a director watching actors come in to audition. And that I found very interesting. And I was able to apply that with what I had studied as an actor and what I expected of actors on set. So yeah, I realized how much I do know.
What advice would you give to an actor who's going in for an audition?
Well, in my mind, most directors, I would think, make their mind up in the first 5 seconds you walk in the room. So your entrance into that room is paramount. It conveys your comfort, your personality. We get a chance to look at you top to bottom. So one of the things I would do is not really talk when you come in. Maybe say hi, and then walk to the table, because we're watching you.
And what do you have coming up next? What are you looking to work on in the future?
My wife Rosemary and I have several projects in development, and 3 of them we're sort of actively seeking funding for. And one is called A Bellyful, a comedy, and we've approached some actors and getting very, very good response. And the other's a sci-fi family adventure film called Tulkara.
Where's the best place to find you online and check out your work online?
There is a website for Tall Orders Productions. I think it's just tallordersproductions.com. And if you go onto YouTube, you can go to Adrian W. Carr, C-A-R-R, videos, and you'll find a bunch of bits and pieces that I've done.
Well, thank you so much, Adrian. It's been a pleasure, and best of luck with your upcoming projects.
Thank you, Katay.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN-HD Production Live.